Yo, what is up everybody? This is John from Magic Tech Review. We're going to be watching the Google Pixel
I will
XL.
watch the video after you're done going live. At work right now.
Yeah, I got to go to work too. Guys. So I'm just going to put this on the thing right quick and I'm going to take care of Little John. But yeah, so hold on tight guys. So, because Little John is having issues this morning, which is fine. I don't mind that. So I'm going to turn off my mic and I'm going to let you guys watch this presentation right quick. So here you go. So I'll come back in just a minute, so I'm still getting ready or whatever. But yeah, here's the Google Pixel event for you guys, as I promised. And I do have to go to work at 1, so...
Sup. There we go. That seems to be working good now. Okay. So, what's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? What is up? Google Pixel XL, or, jeez man, I can't even pronounce this thing. Google Pixel 2 XL, Google Pixel 2. Looks like we're gonna have some laptops coming in. So it's gonna be a lot of different things, guys, going on today. There's several different streamers that are streaming this today. So if you only come in here just to leave a like and to comment, you know what I'm saying, that you were here, that's great as well. I appreciate that. I appreciate all your, you know, feedback, love, likes, and whatnot. But anyways, so what is everybody excited for? What is everybody excited for? Let me know in Become a sponsor today.
Comments today.
I'm doing good.
Alright. So, that's what's up. So, yeah, today's gonna be a couple of cool things by Google, apparently. So, I'm gonna, man, too bad I gotta freaking go, man. Sucks. It really sucks. But it's alright. I gotta work, man. You gotta work. Work is work. So, there's so many people live about this right now, guys. So, when you're done watching mine or whatever, or, you know what I'm saying, I can't be here while I'm at work at the same time. So just go ahead and go over there and watch them as well.
Daylight savings time has started.
Who's that? What is going on? I gotta go to work at 1, so... Oh, when does this thing... Wait, when does this thing start? Does this thing start at 1? No, it starts at 12, right? Because I'll be messed up in the game if this thing starts at 12. I'll be so freaking upset. So it starts at... I mean, if this starts at 1, it starts at 12, right?
password?
Yeah, 12.
Okay, cool. Whew. I thought we were gonna be messed up in the game. Man, I'm like, I'm getting sick. I'm just drinking water.
I'm going live in 4 minutes.
Going live in 4 minutes. Oh, you're going live in 4 minutes. All right, Luke Tech, that's what's up, man. Happy you're going live there, bro. I don't know why you would come to somebody else's stream to tell them that you're going live. Like, what is the point of that, bro? Weird, man. But yeah, some you generally don't do, my friend. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look. I know it's not many people watching right now because there's literally so many people watching this on different platforms, so that's cool. This is basically gonna be my reactions to it, and then I'm gonna have to freaking jet, man. Thank you, Uzette, for being here. Thank you, Shay Kennedy, for being here. A lot of people are in school. Yeah, Luke Tech, come on, man. Don't come up here doing that stuff, bro. It's not cool, man. Like, I really don't want to have to spank you like a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be nice about it, but that's like really foul when you do that shit. So anyways, back to the topic at hand. So, what do you guys think about what's going on? Google Home Mini seems like an option. Probably gonna be a few curveballs out there. I hope they announce like a really cheap.
Hello, my friends.
Hey. Hey man. Here, gift for you. Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you, Luke Tech, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, bro. Everybody go check out Luke Tech.
Hey man, here a gift for you for helping me out.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, here a gift for you for helping me out.
I feel bad for
hey
bad
man,
for saying
here a
that,
gift
but
for you for helping me out.
It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to support you any way I can. Just while I'm live streaming, just let me do my live stream on my platform, and then I'll let everybody know to go to your channel after the fact. But just don't stream on top of others, and then tell them to go to your stream. That's like, I don't know, CV Tech's live, and I'm like, oh, I'm going live too. Chill out, bro. We can all share subscribers, man. But yeah, this should be a big video. This should be a really big video for me and for the channel. Hopefully there's a lot of people that watch after the fact. I hope this music's not copywritten, but it probably is. Alright, there we go. Let's go. Let's do these, man. Let's do these. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. Whatever this thing is. I'm gonna turn off this reader.
Lately it feels like neither Android or iOS works. With Android you can get budget phones, but it's heavily splintered when it comes to updates. iOS gives you all the updates but is expensive.
True. Alright, so we're gonna turn off the reader so you can just hear the presentation and me. And I'll try not to talk too much during it, but if something cool happens, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so they're showing the artist. That's what's up. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's see qué pasa. And sorry again that I'm sick, guys. I'm a little sick right now, so if I sound a little nasally, that's what it is. And plus I'm using this mic right now. I'm not using the better mic because I literally got a jet here in like 20 minutes, probably. Let me see, what time is it? It's 12 right now. I gotta be at Target at 1 o'clock, so probably 12:20, 12:30. I'll be leaving.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. As we were preparing for this event, we were all devastated by the news coming out of Las Vegas, as I'm sure all of you were. And that's coming off a challenging past few weeks with Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria, and other events around the world. It's been hard to see the suffering, but I've been moved and inspired by everyday heroism. People opening up their homes, and to first responders literally risking their lives to save other people. Our hearts and prayers are with the victims and families impacted by these terrible events. We are working closely with many relief agencies in affected areas, and we are committed to doing our part. It's a true privilege to be at the SF Jazz Center. It's a great American institution for jazz performance and education. And it's really good to see familiar faces in the audience. As always, I want to give a shout out to people joining us on the live stream globally from around the world. Since last year and since Google I/O, we've been working hard, continuing our shift from a mobile-first to an AI-first world. We are rethinking all our core products and working hard to solve user problems by applying machine learning and AI. Let me give you an example. Recently, I visited Lagos in Nigeria. It's a city of 21 million people. It's an incredibly dynamic, vibrant, and ever-growing city. Many people are coming online for the first time. So it's very exciting, unless you happen to be in the Google Maps team and you have to map the city. And it is changing so fast. And normally, we map a place by using Street View and doing a lot of stuff automatically. But it's difficult to do that in a place like Lagos because the city is changing. You can't always see the signage clearly. And there are variable address conventions. Things are insequential. So for example, take that house there. If you squint hard, you can see the street number there. It is number 3 to the left of the gate. That was relatively easy. On to a harder problem now. That house, that's what we see from Street View. I think as humans, it's probably pretty hard. Maybe one or two of you can spot it out. But our computer vision systems, thanks to machine learning, can pick it out, identify the street number, and start mapping the house. Okay. So we approached Lagos completely differently. We deployed machine learning from the ground up, and just in 5 months, the team was able to map 5,000 kilometers of new roads, 50,000 new addresses, and 100,000 businesses. And it's something which makes a real difference for millions of users there, as Google Maps is popular. And we think this approach is broadly applicable. Let's come closer to home. Parking in San Francisco. I don't even try it anymore, but for those of you who try it, we again use machine learning. We understand location data. We try to understand patterns, our cars circling around. And the color shows the density of parking. And we can analyze it throughout the day and predict parking difficulty. And in Google Maps, give you options. A simple example, but it's the kind of everyday use case for which we are using machine learning to make a difference. The best example I can think of, what we've talked before, is Google Translation. I literally remember many years ago adding translation in Chrome and making it automatic so that if you land in a page different from your language, we do that for you. Fast forward to today, with the power of machine learning and our neural machine translation, we serve over 2 billion translations in many, many languages every single day. To me, shows the power of staying at a problem, constantly using computer science to make it better, and seeing users respond to it at scale. This is why we are excited about the shift from a mobile-first to an AI-first world. It is not just about applying machine learning in our products, but it's radically rethinking how computing should work. At a higher level, in an AI-first world, I believe computers should adapt to how people live their lives, rather than people having to adapt to computers. And so we think about 4 core attributes as part of this experience. First, people should be able to interact with computing in a natural and seamless way. Mobile took us a step in this direction with multi-touch, but increasingly, it needs to be conversational, sensory. We need to be able to use our voice, gestures, and vision to make the experience much more seamless. Second, it is going to be ambient. Computing is going to evolve beyond the phone, be there in many screens, around you when you need it, working for you. Third, we think it needs to be thoughtfully contextual. Mobile gave us limited context. With identity, your location, we were able to improve the experience significantly. In an AI-first world, we can have a lot more context and apply it thoughtfully. For example, if you're into fitness and you land in a new city, we can suggest running routes, maybe gyms nearby, and healthy eating options. And in my case, being a vegetarian and having a weakness for desserts, maybe suggest the right restaurants for me.
Damn, the hustles, you're just a ray of sunshine, bro.
Probably the most important of it all, computing needs to learn and adapt constantly over time. It just doesn't work that way today. In mobile, developers write software and constantly ship updates. But let me give a small example. I use Google Calendar all the time. On Sundays, I try to get a weekly view of how my week looks like. But once the work week starts, say on a Monday or a Tuesday, I'm trying to get a view into what the next few hours looks like. I have to constantly toggle back and forth. Google Calendar should automatically understand my context and show me the right view. It's a very simple example, but software needs to fundamentally change how it works. It needs to learn and adapt. And that applies to important things like security and privacy as well. Today, a lot of us deal with security and privacy by putting the onus back on users. We give them many settings and toggles to improve those. But in an AI-first world, we can learn and adapt and do it thoughtfully for our users. For example, if it's a notification for your doctor's appointment, we need to treat it sensitively and differently than just telling you when you need to start driving to work. So we're really excited by the shift, and that's why we are here today. We've been working on software and hardware together because that's the best way to drive the shifts in computing forward. But we think we are at a unique moment in time where we can bring a combination of AI and software and hardware to bring a different perspective to solving problems for users.
They got to build it up, man. They got to build it up.
We're very confident about our approach here because we are at the forefront of driving the shifts with AI. 3 months ago at Google I/O, our Google AI teams announced a new approach called AutoML. AutoML is just our machines automatically generating machine learning models. Today, these are handcrafted by machine learning scientists. And literally, only a few thousands of scientists around the world can do this. Design the number of layers, weight and connect the neurons appropriately. It's very hard to do. We want to democratize this. We want to bring this to more people. We want to enable hundreds of thousands of developers to be able to do it. So we've been working on this technology called AutoML. And just in the past month, for a standard task like image classification, understanding images, our AutoML models are now not only more accurate than the best human-generated models, but they are more resource efficient. So it's pretty amazing to see. We are now taking it a step further. Let me talk about another use case, object detection. When we say object detection, just a fancy name for computers trying to delineate and understand images, being able to draw bounding boxes and distinguish between all the vehicles there, scooters, mopeds, motorcycles, and even pick out the bike in front. It has a lot of practical use cases. The Street View example for Legos works based on object detection. Google Lens, which you'll hear about later, as well as our photography in Pixel, uses object detection. This is really hard to do. The best human-generated models we have only have a 39% accuracy. But our AutoML models, as of the past couple of weeks, have reached around 43% accuracy. And they're constantly getting better. So the rate at which we are seeing progress with AI is amazing, which is why we are really excited about combining it with our software and hardware to bring it together for our users.
Rock Mobile. Are you going to
Let
carry
me give
the
you a
Pixel
concrete
too?
example. I was recently very inspired by this tweet from a journalist who was attending the Little League World Series. As you can see, there are 2 Little Leaguers here, one from Dominican Republic and the other from South Dakota, and they're talking to each other using Google Translate. It's a great example, but I looked at it and I feel like we could do a whole lot better. Computing needs to evolve where this happens in a more natural, seamless, and a conversational way. And later today, you'll get an early glimpse of how we can push this experience further by thinking about AI software and hardware together. I couldn't be more excited by the direction our hardware team is taking and approaching their work here. So to give you a lot more insights, let me welcome Rick onto the stage. Thank you.
All right, let's go. Let's go get this show on the road, baby.
Hi, everyone. I want to welcome everyone here today.
Who's here? Who's here? Type of one.
The media. In the front row, we have some of our top sales reps from Verizon and other partners. It's great to have you all here. Yes. Welcome. Welcome. We've got a lot to show you today, including a few surprises. So I thought I would quickly set the scene and explain what we've been working toward and just how it ties into the vision that Sundar outlined. A year ago, we stood on a slightly smaller stage and introduced the world to Google Pixel, Home, and Wi-Fi, Chromecast Ultra, and Daydream View. This is the first generation of hardware made by Google. So much has happened since then, and we've made tremendous progress in our first year. For starters, our team is getting a lot bigger. We're bringing on 2,000 very talented engineers from HTC, along with some important IP. It's an amazing team that's created a series of industry-first innovations. And by working more closely together, we'll be able to better integrate Google hardware and software. And our products have built up a lot of momentum going into our second year. Let's take a look.
Okay, Google.
Okay, Google.
Okay, Google.
Okay, Google, play the soundtrack to Spaghetti for Pepe.
Google set to hold a product event in San Francisco.
There are a ton of new announcements.
Google is showing off new hardware.
Das Pixel XL und das Pixel.
It's called Google Home, the new way to make your home a little bit smarter.
Google debuted a new virtual reality headset.
Get the Daydream View.
I actually feel like I'm there.
It's sick as hell, I can tell you that much.
The Google Pixel.
Pixel is my new favorite camera.
Okay, Google, take a selfie.
Oh, that camera. The pictures that come out of this thing are incredible.
Google's new Chromecast Ultra.
4 stars and editor's choice.
Okay, Google, show me a video of a kangaroo.
What? The camera is phenomenal.
The best ever in a smartphone.
Beautiful.
Tops in my book. There, I said it.
My mom now can save every picture. Unlimited space.
Mama got a new toy.
It can recognize each voice.
Ooh. Enter Google Assistant.
She's so smart.
She's just amazing.
Let me see what else my Google Assistant can do.
Hey Google, call Carrie.
Okay Google, joue-moi du beatbox.
What is a dog?
That's your question, what is a dog?
I don't want to blow your mind with my high-tech talk.
It is amazing what it can do.
I think we got a winner.
It's gonna be sick.
How cool is that?
Yes, Google.
That is amazing.
Okay, Google, what's next?
Dope, dope, dope.
We're still in the early days of our hardware line, but we're off to a great start. We're thrilled to announce that there are now 55 million Chromecast devices around the world. Google Wi-Fi is the #1 selling mesh router since its launch in the US and Canada. And in the last 12 months alone, the Assistant has gotten a lot smarter thanks to Google. We've added more than 100 million new, unique featured snippets from the web, video results from YouTube, and new local places in Google Maps, and a lot more. And Pixel had a great year. I just wish we had a few more of them to go around, but user satisfaction among Pixel owners is among the highest of any Google product ever. Industry analysts and the media gave Pixel rave reviews too. Our performance score. We're really proud of how well the Pixel did for our first generation smartphone in such a competitive space.
What is going on? Why is this thing doing this, man? Come on, yo, don't mess with me today. Oh my lord. Why are you doing this to me now? Thank you.
Reviews for a bunch of smartphones with very similar specs. For people to develop new, exciting products each year, because that's no longer the timetable for big leaps forward in hardware alone. And that's why we're taking a very different approach at Google. As I said last year, the next big innovation will happen at the intersection of AI, software, and hardware. Smartphones might be reaching parity on their specs, but as we just heard from Sundar, we're seeing huge breakthroughs in the kinds of experiences we're able to deliver to users. And it all starts with reimagining hardware from the inside out. AI and
Yo, I'm getting so mad, yo. Of course. Yay, thank you.
For users and removes all of the hassle.
Just let it go for a minute.
And to make all those thousands of memories easy to find on any of your devices. We did the same thing with home networks. Google Wi-Fi uses machine learning not only to keep your signal strong, but to reduce Wi-Fi congestion. While you're moving throughout the house, your router is intelligently transitioning your devices to the best Wi-Fi point and placing you on the right channel. When you're using the Assistant on Google Home, you'll notice it can pick up your voice even in a noisy room. Our deep learning capabilities and neural beamforming help Google Home locate the source of sound and hear you accurately. So we can do with just 2 what others normally need 6 or 8 to do. And this is what it means to design hardware from the inside out. It's this combination of AI, software, and hardware working together that provides a helpful experience for our users. And that's where many of our most successful products. Gmail, Chrome, Android, and even search. But in each case, we succeeded by doing what we're best at, reimagining the experience to make it radically helpful for the user. And as you'll hear today, our next generation of devices is radically helpful too. They're fast, they're there when you need them, they're simple to use, and they anticipate your needs. Everything is designed for you to keep the tech in the background and out of your way. Interact with your devices naturally through your voice or by touching them. And by building hardware around our AI and software, we're creating products that get even better over time. They're constantly getting faster and more helpful the more you interact with them, thanks to machine learning. As a family, Made by Google products represent the ultimate Google experience. Today, we're going to show you how we're creating a family of products that are there when you need them, at work, at school, and on the go. But we're going to start with the most important place, your home. So let's hear next from Rishi Chandra, who leads our home team.
Anyways,
over to
so
you,
I'm probably
Rishi.
gonna have to go, guys. Of course, it's gonna take like years to do.
Thank you, Rick. It's been a really exciting year for us. Google Home was the first product to bring the Google Assistant to the home. And we've been constantly learning from our users so that we can make the Assistant radically helpful for you. For example, as Rick mentioned, in the last year, we can answer over 100 million new questions. And the best part is, you don't like a computer or teach Google Home any new skills. It just works. Now, we're really happy with the positive feedback thus far, but we know this is a journey. So we've been working on Google Home to more people and countries. This year, we launched in 5 new countries, and we're happy to announce that we'll be launching in Japan later this week. Now, bringing the Assistant to people all around the world is no easy task. We had to make sure sure we can understand people of different age groups, genders, and accents. So we trained the assistant at a scale that only Google could, with over 50 million voice samples from hundreds of different ambient environments.
Oh, my Lord.
We've been investing in voice search for over a decade, which is why we have the best voice recognition in the world. Now, earlier this year, we had a major breakthrough with the ability to recognize your voice. We call it voice match. With your permission, we built a model of your voice by looking at dozens of different voice characteristics, like vocal construct, pitch, and tone. This is a really big deal. Google Home is great for the whole family, but it doesn't mean I want to get the same answer to every question. An assistant can only be truly useful if it knows who you are. And with Voice Match, we're the only assistant that can bring personal help to each individual member of your household. So when you ask a question, we match your voice, and we respond with your calendar, your commute, and your personal reminders. Now, Voice Match has already become one of the most popular features on Google Home today. Over half of all queries are from people who've trained the assistant to recognize their voice. And starting today, we're rolling out Voice Match to all 7 countries Google Home will be available. Now, another popular feature is hands-free calling. You can use your Google Home to call any landline or mobile number in the US or Canada for free, without any additional apps or accessories. It just works. And I'm happy to announce that we'll be bringing hands-free calling to the UK later this year. And starting today, you can call out with your own personal mobile number. So whoever you're calling will know it's you. You just need to verify your number through the Google Home app. And of course, with Voice Match, we can recognize your voice to make sure we call your contact with your personal number. Now, hands-free calling also has the intelligence of Google built right in. Just say, hey, Google, call the bakery on 24th Street.
Okay, calling Noe Valley Bakery.
We do the hard work to figure out which business you want to call, thanks to Google's deep expertise in local search. Making a call has never been easier. Now, we have a lot of great news to share with you today. So to kick things off, I'd like to welcome Isabel, lead designer for home hardware.
Oh my God. Literally, they're just like announcing each other back and forth. Just freaking say
Thank you, Rishi. I'm thrilled to share with you how we think design is redefining technology in the home. You heard Rick mention earlier today that everything in our hardware line is designed to fit into your life. The home is a special, intimate place, and people are very selective about what they welcome into it. You don't want to fill it with black plastic, complicated buttons, and random blinking lights. Our vision is to build simple, helpful solutions that work in the background, helping you when you need it and staying out of the way when you don't. So here's what that means to us. We design our products live in, and we take inspiration from the materials and colors that people already use to make their home more warm and inviting. Second, when designing for real homes, form and size really matters for creating something that actually fits in any room or on any surface. And lastly, the way you interact.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank you all for watching. It's just not, there's like way, there's like,
the first thing you might notice is the striking simplicity of the design. It's sleek and smooth with no corners or edges. And it's small enough to be placed in anywhere in your home. It makes Google Home more accessible to more people in more rooms. And as you can see, almost the entire enclosure is made out of fabric. And it's not just about aesthetics. It's core to the product experience. That is why we created this material from scratch, right down to the yarn. It needed to be durable and soft, but also transparent enough to let through both light and sound. This perfect balance allows for all of Mini's technology to be thoughtfully tucked away underneath the clean, simple enclosure. So the 4 LED lights under the fabric are there when you need them, lighting up to show you that it hears you or it's thinking. And you can control it by touch. Give the fabric a quick tap to pause your music, adjust the volume, or talk to your assistant. We thought a lot about how to get great sound with such a small product, too. We embraced Mini's circular shape to project 360-degree sound, so it's really crisp no matter where you stand in the room. You'll be surprised how amazing the quality is. And if you want bigger sound, you can easily connect Mini to any Chromecast built-in speaker wirelessly. We created Mini in 3 beautiful colors: coral, chalk, and charcoal. Color really matters in the home.
Hey,
this is the place where we choose our drapes and carpets and paint colors with so much care. We brought that same level of care for Mini. For the chalk color alone, it took us 157 tries before we found the perfect shade of gray. So that's Google Home Mini with all the power of the Google Assistant. You can make it your sous chef in the kitchen, your white noise machine in the nursery, your voice remote for your TV in the living room, or your alarm clock in the bedroom, or all of the above. Mini will retail for just $49 in the US. And it's going to be available for pre-order online starting today, and in stores starting October 19th from major retailers. We're also really happy to announce that Mini is coming to all 7 Google Home countries. So with that, let's take a look at this ad that we launched later this week.
What's this little thing? Well, it's Google Home Mini. You
All right,
put it in
people,
your
well,
house
I'm gonna have to go. Thank you guys for watching. John
Hey
from
Google,
Magic Tech
play my
Review.
fun playlist.
I'll see you guys
Okay,
next
playing
one.
now.
Go ahead and
It's
hit
also
that like,
a remote control,
subscribe,
an alarm clock,
yeah.
and a sous chef.
Let me
Let it
know.
cool
We'll
for
talk
10
about
minutes.
what happens
It can play you this
tonight.
on TV or that on the internet. It can tell you the weather or if your flight's delayed because of the weather. And it knows the difference between you
So
and
peace
your
out, guys.
husband.
I'm gonna click
If you go,
this,
hey Google, call
but I
Alex.
gotta go.
It won't call your husband's friend Alex. It'll call your friend Alex.
Call